Now, it is the smooching scandal that is overshadowing Spain's World Cup win. Spain's FA chief Luis Rubiales kissed one of their World Cup winners fully on the mouth at the end of the match without consent and with millions of people watching around the world. He has apologised, but Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez says it's not good enough. For the latest on this, I'm joined by Spanish football journalist Semra Hunter. Semra, thanks for making time. Just remind our viewers about this and why it's got people so outraged.
Well, one of the main reasons why it has people so outraged is that there was a new law put into place last year, which is called Only Yes is Yes, and it's about consent. So in the absence of consent in an action like this, it's considered to be sexual aggression. So in other words, it's considered to be a crime, actually. So it has people very outraged because this is a boss kissing a subordinate, in this case, an employee, not just privately, but publicly in front of the entire world, in the pinnacle of her career, in a crowning moment, and it's forever going to be tainted. And so many people feel as though he has crossed the line. He's the president of the federation. This never should have happened. It's completely unacceptable behavior. And actually, in the protocols themselves of the federation, it also borrows from this law, and it very clearly states that if you kiss someone by force, it is completely unacceptable behavior and there should be immediate actions taken place. Unfortunately, the immediate actions have been to try and cover this up, to try and protect the president and to try and keep him in the job, which has then caused even more outrage over the last few days.
So it's fascinating background that I wasn't aware of about that in Spain and the rules. I've got two of the regular panellists in the studio joining me this evening. Esther Krakow, TalkTV contributor, and socialist and author Grace Blakely. They've been listening and we want to bring them into the conversation to get their reaction to this. Not simplify it by just saying there's four women in a conversation about this, but it is about a man kissing a woman without consent. Esther, listening to that, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's important whenever we talk about these sorts of conversations around what we consider sexual harassment, not to patronize women. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the lady in question came out, she's 33 years old, she's not a child. She came out and said, you know, we have a close relationship. Obviously, I made the point that culturally, you know, the Spaniards and the French are more like huggy and physically kissy-kissy and all of that. I'm not saying it's okay because I wouldn't appreciate it. However, if the person in question said, actually, it's fine, we have a close relationship, I wasn't offended, and he did come out and apologize as well if she was offended, why are we making a fuss about it? Who are we to tell her how she should feel about it?
Semra?
Thank you very much. There's actually two things I want to say to that. One, the apology was half-baked. If you actually listen to the actual language, he uses the word seguramente. That actually means probably. So he said, probably I made a mistake. He actually absolved himself of any kind of blame. On top of that, he made it sound like it was mutual, and it very much was not mutual. That's why so many people were so upset with this apology, because it came across as though it was forced, because he knew he was under threat of losing his job. And that's why the president of Spain also said this isn't good enough. The second thing is about those statements you were referring to just now. It has since come to light, and this is absolutely atrocious, by the way, if it turns out to be true. It has since come to light that Jenni never made those statements. The communications department within the Spanish Federation made it up. She never said it.
But the thing is, here's the issue I have with that. Everyone saw it, right? This is on national television. So, I mean, you know, if he really wanted to sexual assault, I don't think live TV at a World Cup final would be a good place to start. And also, it feels like we're getting upset on behalf of someone. This is what female empowerment looks like. I want her to open her mouth, get on TV, and say how she feels about it if she's really upset about it.
But the
thing is, here's the issue.
Very quickly, because she actually did speak on Instagram. There's a public video, you can see her, where she was asked by one of her teammates how she felt about it, and she said she didn't like it. And then she also said, what am I supposed to do? So that is the only thing that we have.
I think that's the point, isn't it? Because we know already how much pressure these football players are under as women. There's literally, every time they play a football game, we have this massive debate about women in football. Most of them don't want to be defined by the fact that they're a woman. They just want to play football, right?
Okay, well,
and so whenever stuff like this comes up, they must feel under immense pressure to kind of sweep it under the rug, to say, oh, it's fine, there's nothing wrong with this, you know, just to basically get back to doing what they want to do.
Here's the thing.
Even when they are made to feel uncomfortable. Because realistically, he's not going to have done that to a man.